Hey, what's going on, people? This is your man, Chris. Decided to make a video today about some stuff that happened this past week. Now, before I get started, let me give a special shout out to Nikki. And now let me get into the topic. Now, the title of the video is going to be Star Wars and the Ugly Black Dude. The title is actually going to be about more than that. I'm going to talk about Star Wars, Star Trek, a couple other things like that. I'm really going to be talking about kind of like black people in sci-fi. So bear with me. But anyway, yeah, this past week, the Star Wars trailer came out, and you know, remember that movie, what was it, Fools Rush In, when my man's father said, the white people out here melting because he was in Mexico visiting his friend, the dude from Friends. I always thought that was like the funniest line in the movie, and plus the way the father said it, he like had said it with an attitude. But to me, I'm just like, the white people were melting this week because they did two things that were just like, not that they were melting, but their brains were melting because, when the Star Trek thing came out, when the Star Trek trailer came out during the halftime of the football game, apparently people went crazy. He started buying tickets. Now the movie is 2 months away. And then to hear the people paying hundreds and thousands of dollars for the tickets, I'm just like, okay, this movie most likely is going to be about 2 hours long, which means it's probably going to be able to show about 10 times a day. It's probably going to be at about 3,000 theaters. So that gives you 30,000 chances in one day to see this movie. So why would you spend hundreds, even thousands of dollars? That doesn't even make sense. But people are just going crazy. And even though I'm saying white people, I'm like, there's probably, I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of Asian people, black people, a lot of people who are doing the same thing. I'm putting it on the white people and being racist. Now, the other thing white people didn't make any sense to me. They went crazy over, all right, the picture you're going to see right in front of you is the picture of the black brother with the lightsaber, and he's taking on the main villain, and it looks like in some forest. Now, that picture right there made people nervous because I think some people were thinking, okay, this dude might actually be the star of the movie. He might be like the love child of Luke Skywalker. Now, people have been talking about him like since early in the year when they did the first trailer, saying that I literally saw somebody say that there's no way he could be the love child of Luke Skywalker because he's too dark. He said that when no matter how dark skinned the black woman is, if a white man gets with a black woman, the child's gonna come out to be light brown or beige. And this was like a white dude. This was on like a forum. Like the stuff I'm telling you, I'm gonna be telling you about the stuff I've seen on the internet and on forums. I've never heard anybody say this stuff straight out their mouth. But because what happened was, if people don't know, people saying that Star Wars is boycotting white people because this dude, the black brother's in so many, he's in so many of the preview clips. Some people are worried. I can tell that they're worried. He think he's going to be the star now. Anybody with sense can tell the girl is going to be the star of the show. She most likely is going to be, somehow related to the Skywalkers, but. From all the forums, the reason why I said thing about the black dude is from a lot of forums, a lot of people saying they're not racist. They're saying they're not racist. The reason why they don't like dudes is because he's just ugly. They said he's butt ugly and he's fugly and all this other stuff. And they were saying that you can't cast somebody that ugly, in a movie. And I'm just like, well, if that's the case, then what's the deal with my man, what's it called, Ron Perlman? He's like had a very successful career and nobody's ever accused him of being handsome. In fact, he was actually the Beast in the Beauty and the Beast series they had back in the day. So, and even Steven Seagal, he's even his own wife said, even Kelly LeBrock, he used to be married to a girl named Kelly LeBrock. She said when she first saw him, she thought that was the ugliest man she'd ever seen in her life. So, you can still be a successful, you can be a good actor, you can be successful in movies and film even if you're ugly. But, that's the reason why I put the thing about the ugly in the title, because that's what a lot of people are falling back on. They're saying they're not racist, but that dude is just butt ugly. They can't look at him for a whole 2-hour movie. I'm just like, well, damn, that's messed up. But it's even messed up for one more thing, because if you ask me, right, this isn't Star Wars, this is Star Trek. The best Star Trek series I've ever seen was called Deep Space Nine, and that was starring a black man named Avery Brooks. Now, Avery Brooks was not a no-name dude. Most people knew him as a dude named Hawk before then. He had screen presence. To me, actually, I found out from Deep Space Nine, he's actually a decent actor. I figured he was just going to be Hawk in space, but he didn't play like he was Hawk in space. He actually played Captain Sisko. He was like Sisko, and he was like the head of Deep Space Nine. And to me, that series, it beats out all the other Star Trek series. It kind of even beats out the original series because their stuff was more high tech and stuff like that. But plus, they had more seasons. I think they had 6 or 7 seasons. And it wasn't just him. There's actually, I have to give this white girl, what's her name, Nana Visitor. She played Kira Nerys. Cisco and Major Kira pretty much powered that show. They were the engine that made that show run. Episodes that featured her, or they just featured just her, or just even featured just him, their storylines were always kind of strong. And those, like, to me, the two strongest characters in the whole series, and they carried that. That was, to me, that was really good. I mean, I'll definitely give a nod to the original series because Captain Kirk and Spock, them, and Dr. McCoy, they were cool. But that to me, that Deep Space Nine starring the black man. I mean, to me, I don't think the reason why it doesn't get credit is because he was a black lead. And believe it or not, they kind of covered that in a couple of episodes about how that story. Hey, what's going on, people? Yeah, sorry, I had a slight interruption. Back to what I was saying. I was talking about Deep Space Nine. And yeah, Deep Space Nine. They actually covered the fact that the story the story, the whole story, the writing of the series, like how a lot of people wouldn't have accepted it because it has a black character as the lead, and the way they did it was pretty slick. So, Deep Space Nine is really on Netflix. I think all the seasons are on Netflix. So if anyone who's listening to my voice doesn't know what I'm talking about, should check it out. And hopefully, I'll get to the part where they actually cover that, 'cause they did it in a pretty cool way, I think. But yeah, that series was that to me, that series was the best. In fact, if I had to choose between choose between watching the Star Wars movies and like Star Trek, I would I'd take Deep Space Nine, watch seasons of Deep Space Nine over watching all the movies for Star Wars. That's how much I like Deep Space Nine. And hey, I'm not really here to compare Star Wars and Star Trek, but Star Trek, I didn't even mention they actually give you more, at least for as far as like eye candy, at least from a man's point of view. I mean, because that Deep Space Nine, they had this I can't remember what her name was in real life, but they had a chick named Dax. Yeah, she was like eye candy. They've had Lieutenant Uhura, they've had 709. Yeah, they'll give a brother some eye candy. But Star Wars, that new chick, she looks okay, but she's not a knockout. But even Carrie Fisher, I mean, I know what everyone. I actually liked when she had on that gold bikini chain at the Jabba the Hutt. That like brings up a lot of memories. But yeah, she in her face, she's just an average looking chick. The best looking chick they've had, the most eye candy you can give is Natalie Portman, and I shouldn't even be calling her eye candy. She's actually a good actress too. So she was like the best looking woman you get to look at in that Star Wars franchise. Star Trek definitely made out. They give you something, brother, something to look at. Just besides, we appreciate the good acting too, but it doesn't hurt to have something nice to look at. But one more thing I want to talk about is man, Jesse L. Martin, the dude from Law and Order. He's in The Flash now. He's playing a black father, and he's actually a police officer named Joe West who raises a white boy to become a white man, and he's raising his black daughter, to become a journalist. And even though I know this is sci-fi, fantasy, stuff like that, but you have to have some believable elements that the audience can I can believe this. This is believable. And to me, the character he plays, it's believable that he could actually raise somebody like the white guy who is the Flash, Barry Allen, the Flash, to be the kind of guy he is, and raise his daughter to be the kind of girl that she is. And the Flash is in love with the girl named Iris. I think it's played by an actress named Candice Patton. She's a decent looking girl. She's a nice looking girl, and it's very believable that he would be in love with her because she's not the typical stereotypical black woman. She's not the smoke weed type, not no tattoos, not partying with the drug dealers, anything like that. She's an upstanding girl. She's a good looking girl, so it's easy to believe that he would fall in love with her and look at her as his potential wife. So I have to give Jesse L. Martin, I give the writers credit for writing this characters in that way too. But got to give that guy credit because he does a good job with that role. And so I'm just saying the black men. I guess I'm basically talking about black men in sci-fi. That wasn't really my purpose, but I guess that's kind of what I'm ending up doing. But no, that's just the way I look at it. People are criticizing that dude. I haven't seen the movie, but he might really play his character really well. So, talking about the Star Wars dude. So, what's his real name? John Boyega, and I think his character's name is Finn. So, we'll see what happens with Star Wars. I'm not going to run to see it. I'm pretty sure, when it first comes out, I might see it the second weekend it's out or the third week it's out because, I'm not standing in long lines because, I've seen the first 6. To me, that was enough. This is just me. Maybe it's just another grab for money. I don't know. But it's still, maybe it'll be good. Maybe it won't. We'll find out. One other thing I want to mention is that I like this Star Wars stuff. A lot of sci-fi stuff. I'm one of those guys that watch that stuff and looks at the special effects and try to figure out how they do that stuff. And one most disappointing thing about Star Wars is when they figured out, I didn't figure out how they did the lightsaber, so I read up and they used a thing called rotoscoping to do the lightsabers. And as fancy as that now name sounds, it's basically like they pretty much drew in the color of the lightsabers and put in the glow and all of that stuff. So they did it a frame by frame, which is a lot. And it's like the movie is like 24 frames per second. So for every second, they have to go 24 frames drawing a lightsaber for a lightsaber battle, which is, is just a lot, but that's how they do it. And I was like disappointed because I thought they actually did some kind of digital special effect because I used to try to figure that stuff out. And I program a little bit, so sometimes I'll like jump on the computer and try to do it like do a simulation of whatever the special effect was, like the movie Predator, like when they have the Predator going, you kind of see through him, but you can see through him, but you can still kind of see him. I figured out how to do that, and stuff like that is fun. It's fun to play around with stuff like that, and that's one of the reasons why I like some of the sci-fi stuff so much. But before I get let me talk about because I just found out that they found the gun in the river. A police officer named what was his name? Randolph Holder. I got to give hope he rests in peace. I have to give condolences to his family because he was trying to uphold the law over on the east side of Harlem, and he wound up getting shot in the head by some crazy dude, and the dude threw the gun in the river, in the East River. But I just heard out that they found the gun, so. But, the dude, Harlem is dangerous. East Harlem, West Harlem, doesn't matter. You run around the streets taking on people who are dangerous. He's a brave man. He died, trying to, protect the community. So, got to give condolences. I know there's a lot of anti-cop stuff going on out there right now. But the fact is that to me, cops are just like people. I think that about a good 80 to 90% of people are just basically good people. You only have about 10 to 20% that are bad. And I'm pretty sure I think cops fit into that same category. So I don't think, even though with police brutality and all of that stuff seems like it's happening all the time, I think it just gets publicized a whole lot more. But I think most cops are good, and they're in it to try to help people. So I don't mind warning the cops. Some people just fuck the police, fuck that cop. But I can't be like that. To me, that's not the way to be. But anyway, this is probably my last video for the year. So anybody who's listening to my voice, hope you have a joyous holidays, and your holidays are joyous, and hope your season brings good tidings, all that other good stuff. Hope you live in peace. I want to wish you peace, and thanks for listening. Peace out.